Hey, so right now I am with Tara Caudill. She's one of our coaches. She's been with us for a while, and I wanted to give her a chance to share her story. And so, Tara, tell us how you got into Beachbody.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I currently live in Hawaii right now. We're leaving here in April, but we've been here for almost 3 years. And when we first got here, we were up in a hotel for about a month before we got into housing here on post. And when you're staying in a hotel in Hawaii for an extended period of time, you really only get like three types of things you get to watch on TV. You get like Nick at Night. So we watched a lot of Friends, which we do anyway. And then you get Hawaii tourism commercials, and then you get infomercials. And one of the infomercials that we always saw was about P90X3. P90X3 had come out not too long before then, I think. And I remembered when I was younger, I saw like P90X, and it was like, oh, everybody's getting ripped and stuff. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool to try. I think I was like in high school when that came out. So then P90X3 comes out, and we're just seeing infomercial after infomercial about it. And we got to talking, and I was like, you know what? It wouldn't kill me to try and get in better shape. And so I had just graduated college, and everybody knows about like the dreaded freshman 15. I was paranoid to death about getting the freshman 15. So I actually lost weight as a freshman. But then ironically, my senior year, I put on a little bit of weight. It wasn't like crazy, but it was the most I had ever weighed at that point, and I wasn't exactly in the healthiest state that I had ever been. And so when we finally get to the house, we finally get housing, we order P90X3, and my husband was going to start it with me, but it was basically as soon as he got like integrated into his troop and everything, they hit the ground running. So I pretty much was starting this on my own. And so I started it, and it was like nothing I had ever done before in my life. But I loved the structure and the relational aspect of it, which I think is one of the biggest things that's kept me going with Beachbody. Everyone's like thought about Slim Fast or Weight Watchers and whatnot, but the relational aspect of Beachbody is definitely one of the things that has kept me to keep going. You want to tell the story? Okay. But long story short, that's how I came to Beachbody. I didn't start as a coach. I came straight on just as a customer, and I didn't have a coach until months later. And then I got Rachel as my coach a little while after that. That's an interesting story. But
Well, so tell us how you got into coaching now. You had that customer experience, not necessarily with the groups though, right? And then we got into, we kind of met up and we got into the coaching side. So what brought you in as being a coach?
One of the biggest things was when I first got on island, I was a fresh college graduate. The chances of getting a job in your field as a college graduate nowadays is like this big. So I was job hunting and everything. And the coach that I had at the time kept telling me, if you try and work the business side of it, he's like, you're pretty much already doing it. You're posting stuff about it all the time. He's like, you're catching people's attention with it. He's like, I think you'd be a good coach. And eventually, like after, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 months, I think I was almost finished with X3, my first round of X3. I signed on as a coach underneath him. And then I was trying to do some of the business side of it. Or no, I was almost about to sign as a coach underneath him. I was about to, and then I ran back into Rachel. And Rachel was actually head of the dorm and women's housing at KCU, at the college that I went to. And so I had known Rachel from the past, but other than like housing stuff, like we never really talked. I just didn't really see her. And I knew you did stuff with the cheerleaders and stuff at the time also. And somehow we got to talking on Facebook. I don't remember how it started exactly. I think you also approached me about coaching because you saw I was doing X3. And I had no idea that you were a coach. And then you started talking to me about it and started telling me about your own transformation with it. And it was that relational aspect that brought me back to it. So then I went and talked to my old coach, and I hated doing this. But I was like, bro, I'm sorry, but I think I'm going to go and sign as a coach underneath my friend. And I talked to him like a week before. I was like, I'm going to think about this for a while. And then he was like, he wasn't happy about it, but he was like, okay, if this is what's going to be best for you, then you have to do what you have to do. And I was really thankful that he was that understanding about it. His coach was not. His coach basically, that was fun.
For the record, I did not steal Tara.
No. No. Rachel was innocent.
So the relationships obviously are a big part of it. So when you signed on to be a coach, was that for the discount opportunity, or were you drinking Shakeology as a customer before? Did you really just want to help other people through relationships?
When I signed on and started as a coach, it was more for sharing my experience of it. The discounts were nice, but it was mainly for sharing my experience with, starting my second round of X3 at that point, and then was going to go into Hammer and Chisel when it came out. The relationship part of it was definitely the most appealing to me, because it wasn't like Beachbody wasn't this infomercial that I saw on TV every now and then anymore. It was something that I had jumped into and experienced myself. And I started to see how Beachbody was different from all these other like companies or products or stuff that had come out. And I'm sure like things like Advocare and stuff, I'm sure they have some merit, but it was the relationship part of it and experiencing Beachbody for myself that set it apart from everything else.
Right.
And so sharing my experience with that and trying to build those relationships with people, that was the biggest reason that I joined as a coach, for sure.
Awesome. And Tara was able to rank advance, and she's helped other clients and customers of her own. And so she's really been able to help people, even just part-time, because she has other things going on. Now she works, she has a baby, she has her husband is deployed off and on, so there's a lot of things going on in her life that and she's back in school too. So lots of different things. And so you can really do this as a part-time gig. You don't have to be working this business on a full-time basis to make an impact and build those relationships with people. So what is it that you love most about coaching? I think you've touched on this already with the relationship side, but if you had to narrow it down to like one or two things, what do you love about being a coach?
Being a coach. Well, like you said, the relationships, For anyone who's watching that doesn't know, I'm currently enrolled online through Liberty University to get my master's in biblical studies, master's of divinity. And so it involves ministry. I currently work in children's ministry at New Hope Leeward Church here on Oahu. And of course, one of the biggest aspects of working in ministry is building relationships. It's basically what I do. One of the biggest factors of our ministry and our job. And so it's really easy to see how you can make that happen within Beachbody itself, doing coaching, whether it be your full-time thing or if it's more of just of a part-time thing like me. You can really take it at your own pace, which is another thing that I love. Like the power hour concept that you taught me was revolutionary. I was like, do I have to get like certified and like go and have like my own gym to start teaching all these things? And Rachel was like, no, literally you can take an hour a day and do this at your own pace. And I was like, okay, thank God. Cause I was like, I do have a job, I'm often by myself sometimes where my husband is gone for training a lot or what have you. So, and then of course you're around other military spouses, going back to the relationship aspect of it. And where I'm a military spouse, that military waiver for being a coach, it came in clutch for me. Because, I'm a college graduate in a decent amount of debt. So in any way that I can save some money and still do awesome things for other people and help take care of my own self, that's just icing on the metaphorical cake. So another thing that I love about being a coach is, I kind of mentioned this a second ago, is just taking it at your own pace. I know that there are thousands of other coaches, parents or not, whatever, they go and do this. This is their job. This is their career. This is how they make their living. This is how they provide for their family. And Beachbody has helped me to develop my whys for why I do the business side of being a Beachbody coach. Like, one of the things is, like I said, we're a military family. The military doesn't exactly pay you the big money. So any way that I can help bring in some income, that's great. Not to make it sound like we're, oh, woe is me. It's not like that at all. But it's nice to have some of that extra income to come in when you try and work that business side of it. And that power hour, being able to shape everything else, and then have that power hour thrown in, sort out your priorities throughout your day, your workouts, what you're going to do, any other jobs or priorities or anything that you have like that, to be able to throw that power hour in and have that nice structure in that routine. That's a big benefit. That's a big asset. I had never had a routine in college where working out was a part of it. I would go to the gym I almost said on post. I would go to the gym on campus every now and then, but that consistency was never there, even with trying to sit down and be like, okay, if I can do a half hour of this and do like Pinterest workouts or something. That happened and failed so many times. Then I can try and get that, that awesome washboard ab look that I want and still be able to survive on cafeteria food. Go KCU meal plan. But Beachbody with the structure, another portion of that, it helped me see food as not just something to throw into your stomach because you're hungry, but as fuel. And so what I eat is just as important as what type of workouts that I'm doing, or like what books I'm reading for my class, or, different leadership aspects that I have to learn for my job. And so it all encompasses quite nicely. Sorry, I have a global mind style, so everything connects together for reasons. So
yeah, I totally agree. No, you're good. She's mentioned a couple key things that, we want to make sure that new coaches understand, is that you can work this business in an hour a day, whether it is you want to build a full-time business or you want to do it part-time. We teach you the steps and basically checklist of what you can do each day to move your business forward, to help cover your costs, to help cover groceries for your family, whatever it is that your first goal is. We can help you do that in a short, condensed period of time, or you can break it up throughout your day. So that is a really good point. And then also, as military family, you do get an additional discount. So as coaches, we have a 25% discount off all of our products, Shakeology, supplements, anything else that you would purchase through the site. But there is also a $15.95 business fee. This covers the cost of your website. It covers customer service. It covers your business, because that's what this is. So military families, if you are a spouse of active military, or you yourself are a veteran, then you have that military waiver that eliminates the $15.95 monthly business fee, and you still have the 25% discount. So it does help out for our military families, and I love that part of it too. So if that is something that could help you, let me know. We'll get you set up. But yeah, so the last question I have for you is, if not for Beachbody, I never would have fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank. If not for Beachbody, I never would have. There's like 1,000 different things I could put here. I never would have realized how, I don't want this to sound cliche, but how fun all of this can be. Like, yes, it's challenging. It pushes you to your limits, but man, it can be a heck of a lot of fun sometimes. And I think that's one of the big key factors for me. Not every workout that I do, I don't look forward to every single one. I just finished Core de Force last month, and it's MMA based, and I always wanted to do like karate or something as a kid, but my parents were never able to afford it. So this was kind of like almost a dream come true to be able to do Core de Force. And there are a lot of push-ups in Core de Force.
Yes.
Push-ups are of the devil. They are awful, but I did them. And now, we're on the last week of phase 1 in 80-day obsession that I'm doing now. And already my push-ups are so much more phenomenal. And we also have to take into the account that right before I got pregnant, I was about to try and join the Army. You do a lot of push-ups in the Army. So your push-ups you have to be able to nail them and hammer them out for whenever you get smoked for whatever reason. And so one of the big push-ups that the Army does is they do the tricep push-ups. Those are like the classic ones. Like my husband will bust out like 100 tricep push-ups and no problem, and I hate him for it. So I'm like, if I can do 10 tricep push-ups without having to stop, I'm okay. And I'm almost there. I can do regular push-ups. They're still challenging. I still hate them. But man, that feeling you get when you just hammer it out and you get it done. And like even throw in running. I've had asthma since I was 3. And so being able to say, hey, I hate running, but I run, and it's awesome after it's finished and you're taking good care of yourself. That's another fun part of it. Like running, ironically, has helped me take more control of my asthma. And then you throw in where I was doing P90X3, and then I did 22-minute hardcore, and then hammer and chisel, and then bam, found out I was going to be pregnant, so I had to stop hammer and chisel because it was too much for my back. And then even when I couldn't work out because of this little nugget right here, the eating habits that I learned, I never felt deprived. I felt fun, or I felt like I was having fun. Cooking became enjoyable to me. It wasn't, I gotta try and figure out what am I gonna make for dinner. I figured out how to set up structures for what I'm gonna eat throughout the week. And even if I don't make everything on one single meal prep night, I have everything that I need because I made the list of what I was going to make throughout the week, so I can make it on another night whenever I have time, get home from work or whatever. And I work out when this guy naps, and I get up early to do schoolwork, but I never feel crazy overwhelmed with it. You start to learn a balance for yourself. You start to learn what you can handle in terms of your schedule, but then you also start to learn what you can handle in terms of your own physical body. And if not for Beachbody, I never would have figured that out.
Good answer. I love it. Well, Tara, there's just been a lot that we've covered through this, so I really appreciate you popping on and telling us your story, because I know that it's going to relate to several people out there that, with busy lives, we have a lot going on, and maybe even military with spouses that are on this call too. So thank you so much for sharing with us, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.